Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Between Two
Yeah.
Worlds. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Uh, uh, how, how are you guys been?
Good.
I'm
Good. How
doing
about you,
fine.
Sid?
Doing
Good,
fine. How are you doing, Sid?
I'm doing great.
good.
Yeah, I'm
See,
doing. I'm doing okay. I think it's been a good week. Yeah, it's been. Well, for me, it's been quiet compared to some of you guys' week.
yeah,
Some
it's
of you
Yes,
been
guys
sir.
this week
kind of
has had.
wicked this week.
Yeah, it's been kind of a nightmare for Beth,
Mhm.
and then here in a little bit we'll be talking with Medium Red about what she got herself into this past weekend too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That was
hi.
so
Yeah.
much fun.
Beth,
Hello.
Beth was like that was like a complete nightmare. The whole raining and flood and
Yeah. No kidding.
that that
And
was
I didn't know what the heck to do because I'd never have nothing crazy like that happen to me because that don't happen. So
I mean
I'm
what
like,
what what the worst way to do it though? Be out of town, you're away from home and don't know the area and you're broke down, strand. I mean, what a nightmare.
Yeah. No
yeah, and come to
kidding.
find out, you pay for the best insurance, but you didn't pay for the roadside assistance because your ex
Oh gosh.
has a tow truck, but he's in Idaho Falls.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
yeah, but I've learned my lesson. I've added the roadside assistance.
How was your week, Tobias?
Well, besides the heat, because I'm sure everyone across the continental U.S. is experiencing that, it's not too bad. I mean, I think it's wild that we're experiencing such heat so early in the summer because usually it's an August thing. But, other than that, it's been busy here. We got some things we're working on at the homestead in the background. So, retrograde is alive and well. But other than
Sure.
that, nothing that's going to knock me off my kilter. We'll put it that way.
That's
Not a
good.
bad week.
Very cool. Good to hear that, Tobias. I'm glad you're good.
What about
Yes.
you, Christy and Thunder? How were you guys this week?
We're doing good.
I ain't
Kinda
gonna lie, these girls drive me nuts here.
uh,
I'm just teasing. It's
Yeah.
been good.
well, we are worried about our friends in Colorado because of the fires. So
Yeah.
we had to postpone our trip because of the fires, which is kind of sad because we can't do the services, the last ride services for a former member of the coven because he'd be passed away,
Oh no.
by the end of this week. So, but it happens. So,
I need to catch up with the news. I didn't know there was a fire.
there's
Oh,
lots
there's
of fires.
fires everywhere. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
ring of fire right now.
I think
Fire in
Colorado and
Arizona right
Utah,
now too.
yeah, Colorado and
Dragon.
Utah are the worst.
Yeah.
Jen,
The
you had a
fire
you had, you
dragon.
had kind of a shitty week, didn't you?
I sure did.
Literally and figuratively.
Literally,
Yeah, no
my
kidding.
plumbing took a dump.
Aw.
Somebody had to go poo and clogged up the whole toilet system in the whole house.
I think it was from the washing machine, but I don't know.
She's gonna blame the washing machine.
It's an old house and it has old house problems. Something's always breaking.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
gonna be worse.
The joys of owning a house,
Yeah. It's overrated.
It's
very
overrated. Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
Place.
Which one?
Oh,
So tonight we're kind of splitting this show up in two parts. The first
Yeah.
part of the show is we're going to be talking with Medium Red about what she got herself into this weekend, and then the second half, if time permitting,
Mm.
We
we'll
make
we'll,
time.
we'll
We
get
will make
we'll
time.
get to me.
Sid, we
We'll
always will make time for you. So don't you
Exactly.
even worry about that.
uh-oh,
You guys
uh-oh. I
watching,
think
do not
we're
worry.
running
We
over
will
time
make
already.
we'll make plenty of room or time for Sid. So
Uh-oh,
just
it looks
stick
like we're already
around,
running
guys.
over time already for Beth.
It's about to get real good.
It's about to get really bad. No, I'm excited. I don't give too many opportunities to actually sit down and people really don't know me. They just see my messages that I put out, and people don't know, what makes me tick behind the scenes of why I do the things I do and stuff like that, or even get to know me. Period. A lot of people just don't know me. But I think it'd be a good opportunity for everybody tonight to ask away and see if they can figure out who this insane guy they call Sid is. Medium Red, tell us a little bit of what you got yourself into this weekend.
Well, as you know, I did a 6-month mentorship class with Cindy Kaza, and it kicked my ass. And so part of the mentorship there's 10 of us that took the class, and to meet in one location and to actually be able to meet everybody and actually meet Cindy and actually kind of like complete like a last class type of thing. So we all converged onto the Palmer House. And by the way, if anybody hasn't heard about the Palmer House, I highly recommend you go. Dave Schrader and Winnie Schrader are incredible hosts. Dave Schrader is obviously Holzer Files and also Paranormal Mysteries. And they bought the Palmer House. It is a haunted location. It was built in 1901, and the building that was there before was called Sauk Center. And it's based on Sauk Center. Sauk is Indian. It's the Indian tribe that had basically inhabited that land in Minnesota. And so he bought the house in hopes of breathing life into it and keeping it going. And he's done a fabulous job. And his wife is just wonderful. So they've got a little restaurant pub there, and it's very haunted. I did not get a wink of sleep the entire time that I was there. I was there from the 24th to the 28th. So I was there for 4 days. And
so you stayed there the whole time? Did you guys leave the hotel or anything like that?
Pretty much not until we went to the cemetery, the local cemetery that was around the corner that had a fairy tree, which was really cool to kind of go and see, the beautiful cemetery. But
I don't know if I can handle being in a fucking haunted fucking hotel for 4 fucking days.
I love it.
You have to remember, I said I did not sleep hardly at all. And actually, one of the girls was in the most haunted room, and she was the second floor down and across the hall, and she did not get any sleep whatsoever. I mean, by day 4, she actually checked out. She checked out on Saturday night. She didn't actually even stay the Saturday night. They just left. They went and got closer to Minneapolis to fly out, and they didn't stay the next. There was water elementals. I went down to the basement. There's a water elemental and a fire elemental. They're living in harmony together right now. But prior to that, they battled each other constantly. And Dave does have signs in the basement, but I walked in completely blindfolded. I didn't want to see any of the signs. I just wanted to go in and experience it in its purest form. And there was a water element down there that mimics, and there's a water element that it rules the basement and says, I did automatic writing, and I wrote down shit that I don't even understand. Like, water must flow and progress will continue. As long as the water can flow, life will continue. I mean, it's really wild. And then one room I went into, I actually picked up on bootlegging. There was one part of the wall that literally was kind of blocked off, but it didn't have the normal brick to it. And it was blocked off by tables and chairs and everything. And I did confirm with Dave. I'm like, the lake is very close by. The Sauk Lake is very close by. And I said, oh, did you have bootlegging coming in here? He goes, yeah, one of the rooms used to be a prohibition room. Like literally you had to have the secret knock to knock on the wall or the door in order to be brought in order to be able to participate during prohibition. So bootlegging was coming in. And then, like I said, the biggest thing is the previous owner came in and was trying to clean up the basement. And the basement hadn't been concreted in. It was just a dirt floor. So she was kind of brooming up things that were going on, and she found bones. And
while you were there?
Well, no, this is prior to Dave and Winnie taking over.
Oh, gotcha.
And so she literally was respectful in the fact of she had a plastic tub. And so she put the bones in the tub, ran up the stairs, no contractors, nobody's there. It's just her. She ran up the stairs. She went to the sheriff's office to talk to the sheriff to bring him back. She brought the sheriff back, and the bucket was gone. The tub was gone. The bones were completely gone. So I would, again, not looking at signs and everything. I just went in there and channeled and found that, I was like picking up on a woman, and the woman was saying, why am I not buried in a proper burial ground? Where are my bones? Where am I at? Why am I not? And she's stuck kind of in the basement. She's like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to do. So there's quite a bit of, the basement is very, I mean, it like spans the entire length and width of the hotel. And it's just incredibly, it's creepy. Let me tell you.
How many floors is the hotel?
Including the basement, 4 floors.
Has
And-
all 4 floors got some sort of activity,
Yep.
or is it just all one hot spot?
No, it's all 4 floors that have, like, I had a woman that continually kept shush. I had a woman that kept sitting on the edge of my bed and wake me up in the middle of the night. Of course, my husband slept through the entire thing, but me on the other hand, I'm like awakened at 2 o'clock in the morning, going, "Why am I being awakened by a woman sitting on the bed?" It's like, and then as soon as I would wake up, she would disappear, and it was like, please just let me have sleep.
Medium red. There's like 2 things that you said that totally resonated with me, like to follow the water. So yeah, we definitely got to discuss that. And also the person sitting on the side of your bed. That's happens to me.
It was wild. It was really wild. I mean, so a couple of people, I mean, they had a lot of experiences. One girl actually went home. She had scratches on her stomach.
Oh,
So
dang.
there was
Wow.
there was
I
couple
think I've seen investigations done there at that hotel before, like on TV shows and stuff like that. The place just in general just looks creepy.
It does. It really does.
It has that vibe of like, okay, you walk in, I'm already creeped out just to the way the fucking place looks.
Yeah. It's amazing. And my dog, Reese, was with me. She's the only one that really gets to travel right now. I mean, she was on edge constantly. I mean, her normal activity of being, when she travels with me, she's actually very normal. But when I was in that hotel, she was constantly like, she'd stand on the edge of the bed and just kind of stare off at a wall,
Just
like,
growl.
and just like, rip, rip, I mean, it was really crazy, very crazy. So yeah, it was a very fun experience, I have to say. And then, come to Park Rapids, to be with my husband's family. And we got this little 5th wheeler that we're in, which is really nice. Trust me, it's beautiful. And then all of a sudden it's like tornado watch. Wait, what? I'm like, and I look at the map, and it's like this big yellow block. And I'm like, should we be trying to find higher ground or something? I
She
don't know.
literally brought the dark cloud with her.
Yeah. So I'm like
Yeah.
texting Chrissy going, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I was like texting all of you, and Chrissy's like, I love it. Beth totally did an incantation. And then Chrissy and Chris went out with the family. And it was like literally right after they did this, that I watched the map. And the next thing you know, it was like this yellow block went, whew, and it was like a block up here and a block down here. And we were like totally safe. And I'm like, thank you, sis. Thank you, sis. Thank you, sis. My husband's like, I don't know where we go. He's looking outside going, well, there's a tree. We can fall on the side, and then we can actually fall.
Yeah.
Beth
I
and
don't
I
want to
had
fall
to.
at all.
Yeah.
So doing
Had
this
to.
course, what did you get? What was it just the end of the course that you did with Cindy? You got to go to this hotel and that was the reward? Was there any kind of like ceremony or certificate, like anything handed to you or anything?
No, not really. No, but it was 6 months of grueling hell, I'll tell you that. And then I'm
What
like,
did you have to do?
So the advanced mentorship class is basically very intense. It's very much practice. It's very much learning who your spirit guides are, how to talk to them, how to tap in, gallery readings left and right, like strangers. I mean, she does workshops left and right. And in fact, we kind of deviated from that. We were supposed to do a workshop that day, but she deviated and said, let's just have fun, which was fun. But no, literally workshops were strangers. I have 60 people in a Zoom meeting, and I'm used to being able to do a gallery reading where I can actually see people, like, here's 6 people, 7 people right now. I can see you, and I can actually see spirit guides behind you and everything. And excuse, my husband's going to walk in here. But I'm used to being able to see entities around you. So it's very difficult to do a Zoom workshop where you literally don't see the people, but yet
Well,
you're
that's a lot of pressure too, isn't it?
What's that?
That's a lot of pressure too, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, let me put it this way. The first class, she's Eastern time. She lives in New Hampshire, was like literally 8 a.m. on a Sunday, my time. So I'm sitting here with my, little cup of coffee going, I'm going to get caffeinated. I have my book and my pen and I'm ready to write notes. And she's like, all right, in the order that you guys showed up on the screen, like, in my screen, I see Sid, Jen, and Beth. I was like, okay, Sid, you're Cindy and Jen's me. And literally it goes, go, you got 5 minutes, get somebody, start channeling and tell me who you get. And I'm like, and anyone
Damn, I'm
That's a lot of
you
pressure.
first.
I looked at that course. I thought about taking it, and then I didn't. And now I'm kind of glad I didn't, because that's a lot of pressure.
I wouldn't say she is as hard as Arthur Findlay, because she did the Arthur Findlay school, but it's pretty intense. Like, I'm sitting there with my cup of coffee, and anybody that knows me knows that I have to at least have one cup of coffee to even make me be able to speak. Tobias, you're this, okay. And I'm sitting there with my cup of coffee. Huh?
I said I can relate.
I'm sitting there with my cup of coffee. She goes, okay, how you appeared on screen, go. Colleen, you're first. I'm like,
Did you freeze?
I did. I freezed, and I'm like, okay, I'm picking up a mail. I mean, I instantly started peeking in and trying to pick up something. I picked up a mail, and I got through it all and everything. But holy cow, it was challenging. I mean,
it is really hard to do that on Zoom too. It's a little more difficult when it's not like right there in person.
Yeah, I mean, so in her workshops, she allows it to be 60 people plus, the 10 of us. So there's 70 people.
Yes.
You can't switch screens. I mean, it's not like I can go, okay, I see Sid, and I can see that there's somebody behind on his left side. All right, that's his maternal side. I know that he has, something maternally on that side. No, right. I can't. This is like being blindfolded, literally, in a nutshell. So, I mean, Jen, I highly recommend it. Her classes are wonderful. I mean, I would start with her level 1 classes and build up. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm going to take another advanced class with her. It's even more advanced. And it starts on July 5th. And I'm like, what did I
love Cindy. I really love her. I have a lot of respect for her. So I had thought about it, but then I kind of chickened out.
Do it. She's fabulous. And she's a very caring and loving individual. She's not like any medium that I've ever met before. She's not like the Teresa Caputos. It's not about the money. It's not Matt Frazier. He's not about, she's a very caring, loving individual and very humble. And, if you know anything about her background, she literally lived out of her car for months on end, trying to get started. So, I mean, if there's anybody that I would emulate or try to be like, it would be her, and the fact of the humbleness and the caring and the compassion and empathy that she has towards people. It's pretty incredible. And
how much is her classes?
The advanced class was $3,500. It was 6 months was the $3,500. Most of her classes generally are around, $20 to $50, and they're 2-hour classes, and she teaches, she'll teach it all. And they're always something different to learn, like, empath or meeting your spirit guides or your clairvoyancy. So there's always a topic that she discusses, and then you learn about it, which is pretty fabulous. But yeah, it was such a fun time. But yeah, that hotel is layer upon layer upon layer. You have elementals, you have past death. I mean, the original place burned.
Has anyone ever figured out why there's so much activity there at this hotel?
Yes, the first hotel burned down. Some people did die in that first building. So
you have that.
And then the water elemental coming into it's there's Sauk Lake. And for some reason, I mean, you walk down there, and I mean, in the basement, you can even see where there's still water that's coming up in the basement. And it told me that there will be another flood, and it won't wipe out humanity. It won't wipe out anything building wise. It's just, it's a pregnant lake that needs to be expounded. I mean, I'm still learning about elementals myself personally. I really want to learn from Michelle Bellinger. She's more the elemental expert.
She's
on
amazing.
This.
She is amazing. I take a
She
couple of
is
her stuff.
Crazy amazing. But you know, the knowledge that I have about elementals, and again, it was really interesting. There was water element and there was a fire element, and the room where they fought was where there was an oven, because I confirmed with Dave. I went down there with Dave and said, you need to tell me, is this room where the furnace was? Not an electrical furnace. No, I mean a coal furnace. Like literally somebody that was literally feeding coal into the furnace to keep the rooms warm. He said yes. And I told him, I said, water and fire, they were fighting with each other constantly. Now that you've taken the coal factor out of it, the water is completely happy and it's just flowing, completely flowing. And it's crazy. And yeah. And then you have like I said, the woman with the bones. And then I picked up on like a man down there that I don't know what he did, but he's like the ruler of the basement. And I kind of feel like he was one of the ones that dealt with like the prohibition and dealt with like the bootlegging. Like he was the one that was there to protect the basement so that the liquor could go out the door and the liquor could come in, or however you want to call it. So it was quite an amazing adventure. Let me put it that way.
That's cool. So it sounds like the guy that he's still there protecting the basement then.
He is totally.
He just hasn't been able to pass on because that was his role in his lifetime. So
right, exactly. No, he's still down there. The woman that's looking for her grave, you know, she's still down there. Yeah, it's crazy. You have children up on the second floor. In fact, Dave set up a little room, so he's got toys up there for children to play with. There's a marble that constantly rolls back and forth, and it's not like as if it's like this. It rolls wherever it wants to roll.
Oh, cool.
It's everywhere. Tobias, you were going to say something.
Yes, I was going to ask if you guys were able to determine how long the fire and water had been there, and you answered the cause, so I don't have a question there. And then my other question was the basement like partitioned? Was it partitioned off, finished, stuff like that, or was it like a maze, which made it more creepy?
It was a maze. It was a maze, and there's a bunch of shit down there. Excuse me, a bunch of shit down there that, you know, Dave's like, you know, I've got to go through all this stuff. The previous owner just left stuff down there, and he goes, and I don't know whether to throw it out, get rid of it. I'm not really sure. He's like, there's stuff from the original the hotel that was there before the 1901 when they built the hotel. He's like, there's stuff that they garnered from that building that's still downstairs that he's like, I'm not sure that I really want to get rid of it because I don't know what the historical value is, if something's attached to it or not. But yeah, we all of us that were there were having experiences, and none of us really got any sleep other than the spouses who are not really empathic that way. Like my husband, he didn't care. He got sleep. He was like snoring up a storm, you know. So yeah, it was really fun. Sorry, I have a whacked out dog here.
Well, I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad that you had that experience. That'd have been a cool experience to be part of myself. Do you get to do it again when you take this next level advanced class?
No, this one's just kind of an intensive advanced one. It's just for 5 weeks and kind of just something she put together, which is really cool. But we've decided as a group that we're going to do this every year. I mean, we've really bonded with one another. We did have a problem with one student who only took one class, and you know, I have to give some compassion and empathy and sympathy towards her. She never really participated in any of the events. She kind of slept in her car. Some drugs were involved. I think there's some domestic abuse, and there's some drugs that were involved. So we had a minor disruption. But being all that we were all psychic and mediums and empaths, we were really trying to help her as much as we possibly could. And you can only lead a horse to water so much, and then you kind of have to step aside. But we've decided in the future, Cindy's thinking about making this an annual event for this particular class, since it's been such we bonded so well that we would like to do something next year. So same time next year, she wants to try to do, she's thinking the Shanley Hotel in New York. So we'll see. I've never been in New York in a past life. I hated it. I was killed in a past life in New York.
It still sucks.
So I'm kind of like, okay, well, I guess it gets me out of my comfort zone, you know?
Yeah.
Food was fabulous. Dave Schrader was wonderful. Winnie Schrader was absolutely wonderful. I mean, the experience overall was just fabulous. I can't speak highly of them.
That's awesome.
Didn't
So-
you give Cindy a gift too?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So, Wrist, her name is Kristen, but she goes by Wrist, and she's part of the University of Magicus, which is Patty Negri class. She makes fairies. And so I sent her a picture of Cindy, and I said, make a fairy doll, make a Cindy fairy doll. So it was a little more challenging for her to do it, but she completely made this little fairy doll that looked like Cindy with the little kimono sleeves and everything. And so I was able to give it to her when I saw her, and she was in awe. She loved it. She's like, I've never had a fairy doll that looked like me. This is awesome. I'm so excited. But Off the Branch fairies, everybody, if you want, a fairy, she does all sorts of fairies, mermaids, stuff like that. So yeah, she loved it. She was like in awe. She's like, I've never had anyone do anything like that before for me. She's a very humble and very sweet lady.
Well, you can get a feel that from one just watching her on TV. That
Yeah,
I've always enjoyed watching her do her when she's in part of an investigation, just because you can tell that about her mannerisms, the way she carries herself. She doesn't act cocky or have an ego about herself, and that's what I've always dug when I watch what she does, especially all the work that she's done with Dave.
I always enjoyed the Holzer Files. I liked her. I like Shane. I like Dave. I always
The
enjoyed
Ghosts of Devil's Perch, I think, was another show that they did, and Cindy was part of too, where they went to that town and stayed there. I think it was Butt, California, or something like that, or somewhere. But Cindy spent like a bunch of time there with Dave and I think Shane. I know it wasn't, maybe, I don't know, but it was The Ghosts of Devil's Perch or something was the name of the show. It's really good.
Well, she's going to be on Within the Cauldron, Chrissy. She's going to do that in the fall.
Okay.
She's like, I got a block of time in the fall. She's like, and I'll send you the dates. And she goes, hook me up on that. I was trying to get her to do the podcast while we were there, but it was very difficult to try to get her alone for 5 or 10 minutes with that. And it was actually funny because this Dave came in, we were doing like a Reiki healing session, because everybody has something that we do differently. Past life regression sessions is kind of my thing. And then somebody else is a Reiki healer. Somebody's a rescue medium. So Dave walked in and said, hey, you guys, there's a woman in the bar, and it's her birthday, and she wants Cindy to do a reading for her. She heard that there's a bunch of mediums in the house, and she wants a reading. And I'm like, I'm out, I'm tapped out, So Cindy went and said hello to her. And I said, she came back, she goes, I think she peed her pants.
Oh, goodness.
So it's so cute. It's just adorable, A bunch of mediums in the house.
Let's take advantage of it.
Yeah, really.
Oh, God.
I have a question real quick for. So have you been born medium, or is that something that developed into a mediumship?
I actually was born with it. The story is when I was 5, I was raised very Catholic. I had a very Catholic family, and my grandfather actually met me when I was 3 months old. I do sort of kind of have a recollection of being rocked by this man, and I know where the rocking chair was and where the clock was and everything. And my mom she's like, she was blown away that I could remember that, because I was only 3 months old. But then he died when I was 9 months old. So I really didn't have a relationship with my grandfather. And one day, I'm like 5 years old. I'm in my bedroom, and I had a little square table, and I had a doll and a bear, and it was me in an empty chair, and I was throwing a tea party. And we call it, my grandfather's name was Fred, but we called him Pap Pap. And so my mom overheard me talking. So she walked in the door to see what I was doing. And she said, who are you talking to? And I said, Pap Pap. And she's like, Pap Pap's dead. And I said, yeah, I know. And she's like, no way you can be talking to him. And I'm like, but he's right here. And I'm like pointing to the table. And she's like, you need to stop that right now. That's demonic and that's of the devil. Don't ever do that again. And I'm like,
That's what my mom did too.
yeah, I didn't know how common it was until actually I entered into the world that I'm in now. And it's very common. And I looked at her and she shut the door and I started crying. And I'm like, and I looked at my grandfather and I'm like, but I don't want to stop talking to you. I don't want to stop playing with you. We played cops and robbers, cowboys, Indians. We played all kinds of things together. And he's like, make up when she asks you again, make something up. And I'm like, but that's lying. He's like, it's a fib. He's like, tell her you're playing with an imaginary friend and it'll be acceptable. And I'm like, what's an imaginary friend? Because at this point, I have no clue what an imaginary friend is. I only know entities that I talk to and real life people. So flash forward a few weeks later, she comes in, who are you talking to? And deer in the headlights, I go, my imaginary friend. She kind of scowled at me and I went, hockey. My brother loved hockey. And I just thought the word hockey was just amazing. And I'm like, hockey, my imaginary friend. She's like, okay. So she shut the door and left me alone. Okay, your daughter's crazy playing with imaginary friend, but I can't talk to my grandfather who was a real life human being, I don't know. But so anyway, needless to say, I literally just, I mean, he's always been around me. He's always around me. And, life gets in the way. I graduated, got married, got divorced, started a company, blah, blah, blah. And then it wasn't until literally 2021 where I kind of outed myself out of the closet in a sense, or actually it was 2020, outed myself out of the closet. My husband didn't even know that I was a medium because I never said anything to him until his mom had a problem and she was dying. And she came to me and said, Tim's going to get on a plane tomorrow. Please tell him not to get on a plane. It's going to be a repeat of his dad. And I don't want him to be guilty about this. Tell him not to get on the plane. I'm going to die in 30 minutes tomorrow morning. And tell him that I love him and tell him to call his sister. Well, he comes home. He's frantically packing to get on this plane. And I tell him, you're not going to be able to make it. And he's like, I am going to make it. Because he was thinking that he wasn't going to make the plane. He had literally an hour to get on this plane. And I said, no, you're not going to make it. Call your sister. And he's like, I don't need to call my sisters. I'm going to make it. And I said, no, you don't understand. Your mom has 30 minutes to live. And I'm like, how the hell did that come out? I'm like, shit, I hope I'm right. I don't know. Let's trust in the spirits. And literally the phone rang. And it was his sister saying, Mom is going to pass in 30 minutes. He's on the phone going, looking at me like that. And I'm like, and he goes, he got to talk to his mom. And it wasn't me. Got to talk to his mom, tell her I love you, all that stuff, and hung up the phone and then looked at me and said, we need to talk. And I'm like, wow, those Dolphins played really well on Sunday, didn't they? I mean, I totally tried to change the subject matter. He's like, you and I need to talk about this. What's this? And I'm like, I have a little gift that I haven't been using, but your mom came to me. And then he's like, okay. So I didn't say anything more about it. And then 2021, Amy Bruni came. We did a show with her. She had technical difficulties. I love Amy. Amy's the one that literally was the one that said, what the FUCK are you doing? Why aren't you using this gift? You're like Chip Coffey. You're like the Tyler Henrys of the world. You can do this. Go for it. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I did. I'm like, okay, let me take a class and see, so I found a mentor in Phoenix, Arizona, Susan Grayson, and I went to her and she put me through the rigmarole and kind of vetted me out to see if I had it. And she sits you in front of a complete stranger and goes, go. Okay, this is what I'm getting. And you get validation back. And yeah. And then from there on out, I'm like, okay, I'm going to educate myself constantly. And then that's what I did. Like I did all of Cindy Kaye's level. She did level 1, 2, and 3 classes. And then once you do that, you're eligible for her advanced mediumship, which she doesn't do every year. And then you can go on from there. So it's been a journey, and it's been a wonderful journey. I've been challenged. I've been validated. I've, cried. I've laughed. I mean, it's been a fabulous ride. Let's put it that way. The journey has been wonderful. And then I meet these two fabulous people down here in the corner that I absolutely love, Chris and Chrissy, you know, and it's just blossomed from there on out.
Like a butterfly.
What's that?
Like a butterfly.
Like a butterfly. Exactly. Precisely. I was a chrysalis and then I turned into a butterfly.
I agree. Should we take a little bit of a music break and come back?
Sure.
All right, then let's play some music. Then we're going to be playing some. I fell in love with that guy, that Let Down band group from last week. So I'm going to play another one by him. This is called "Do It for the Love." We'll be right back, guys.
All right.
Cool.
This is Blue Iris.
And you are listening to WRRZ Wizard Rock Radio. A man on a mission to ruin everything I have. I'm breaking the good things. Yeah, I just wanna make them mad. I wanna be lonely. I'm only happy when I'm sad, and I'm okay with that. I do it for the love and the heartache and the bad days. I do it like a drug, oh, 'cause I want it and I need it. I want someone set me free. Yeah, I'm sick of being me. I do it for the love. I do it for the love. I'm playing the victim. I hate that I'm the king of that. All my decision is leading me to nowhere fast. My heart's on vacation, and I don't ever want it back. Yeah, I'm good with that. I do it for the love and the heartache and the bad days. I do it like a drug, oh, 'cause I want it and I need it. I want someone set me free. Yeah, I'm sick of being me. I do it for the love. I do it for the love. I do it for the love. I want someone set me free. Yeah, I'm sick of being me. I do it for the love.
Welcome back. That was Let Down. I don't know if I got if they muted part of that or not. Look, I may have
love
gotten.
that. That was
I might have
great.
played the wrong song.
No, I liked it.
Oh, that was awesome.
Well, no, Facebook may have not liked it.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
can I just say F Facebook?
But yeah, they may have not
I'm just
liked
trying to
that
be
one.
nice. I'm just trying to be nice.
But I think we're back now. I think they muted us for a minute and then brought us back. Maybe.
They realized how cool you were and was like, bring that back.
You know, I have experience where I am at, because, you know, my husband's in the concert business. I have experience like literally doing a live video of somebody, let's just say, you know, John Anderson. And next thing you know, I'm videotaping it and I go to post it on Facebook. And, you know, Facebook goes, well, I don't know if you have copyrights to this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here at a live concert videotaping this. How can you tell me I don't have copyright? It's not like I'm trying to infringe on anything. It's a live concert where everybody has like their phones out, you know?
Happened to me this weekend.
Oh, did it happen to you, Beth? The same thing?
Mm-hmm. Or
Crazy.
the owner is claiming the copyright or whatever.
It's crazy.
Sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't.
Yep.
That was maybe that one was the time where I didn't get away with it. Whoops. But it should be back, I think. I haven't received any warning saying they shut you off. So I'm assuming that it's on.
I
Yet.
think we're good then.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess this is the time for you guys. If you guys have got some questions for me.
Oh yes, Sid.
This is the part where I'm about to end the show. It's 41
No,
minutes.
we still got a good 20, 30
into it.
minutes.
We're a little running over now, I believe.
Not quite yet.
All right, well, hit me with them, guys. What is it about Sid that you guys would like to know? I'm going to be an open book.
Sid, I want to know something about you that most people would never guess.
Oh, that's a good one.
I told you I thought up some questions and typed them up so that I was prepared because I was going to wing it, but
I think
everybody wanted to be prepared.
people the most is that I have this. I feel alone a lot of the times. And I think that probably surprises a lot of people that I feel this way, but I feel alone a lot of the times. Even though I'm not, I got people around me, friends around me, but I always feel like I'm alone.
I understand that correctly. I totally understand that. Yeah. You can be in big crowds and still feel like you're by yourself and lonely.
Yeah.
I have a question. The one question that I could think of. With the ups and downs and ins and outs of your journey with your spiritualism, how did that impact your family life? Like going with Noah to church and stuff like that. When you kind of went out of that, how did that impact your family?
Well, I'm pretty lucky, I think. Everybody kind of goes with whatever the flow that Sid's feeling. And it's not that I run around to it. I'm a dictator and whatever goes. I mean, I have this. I'm lucky enough that my wife allows me this freedom to do the things that I do with no questions asked. She knows that we're about 20 years of age difference apart, so she knows that I'm towards the end of mine, and I am just exploring life, and she just kind of allows me. During that time, though, Jen, I'll add that during that time, I was going through a lot of stuff within myself, like the loss of my dad, the loss of my son, and I was trying to find answers, and I wanted to somehow. I didn't want to miss out if there was a heaven or hell. I didn't want to miss out of maybe seeing them again, wherever the in between was. And then I'm not the one. I'm not type of guy who. I'm not going to say to my kids, "Hey, Daddy, I want to go to church." I'm not going to tell them no.
Right.
Good father.
Mm-hmm.
Very good father.
No matter what my opinion of it may be, and it was pretty cool at first when I started going, but then I started seeing the other side of what this church was doing, and it turned me off. Like they had a homeless person come in, was hungry, and they didn't want to give them no food unless they came into church and sat in and watched the service. I'm like, well, that's not how I work, guy. And I told the director, that's not how I work. So I just handed the lady like $40-$60 to here, go grab yourself some food. And I hope this helps a little bit. I'm just, once I seen that, I had to step away from that place. Not saying that I never would step into another church again for my kids. It's just not that place.
Yeah, that jaded you pretty quick.
Yeah.
Well, most religions, I mean, I shouldn't, I generalize this, but being raised Catholic, Jen, you can probably attest to this. Oh, Baptist, okay. I feel like it's such a hypocritical thing. And I mean, I remember my mom and dad, it's like, do as I say, don't do as I do. And that's like the Catholic Church, you know. Same thing with like the priests, you know, abusing little boys sexually and things like that. It just, I went through so much in the Catholic Church that I just went, I'm so glad I wasn't a little boy.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's bad.
You know, I mean,
the
there's
Baptists aren't any better. The Baptists aren't any better.
I just,
That's true.
I try to see both sides of the story and religion in the sense of like religion it's created by man. Well, let me put it this way: the Bible was created by man.
It's patriarchal
Right.
by man.
Correct.
But
Exactly.
The same things that happened in Catholicism and the Catholic Church happens in all the churches. It's not
Correct.
unique to priests.
Right.
And I had some pretty awful things happen. So when Sid said he was going to church, I was like, oh Lord, what's going to happen?
I love how you said, "Oh Lord, let's see."
Like, I was hopeful.
Oxymoron.
Oh,
So I got a question for you. If you're okay
All right,
with it.
Tobias, hit me with it.
Let's see. I was sitting here thinking of one because I didn't prepare, but I'm pretty good at being on the fly here. So, you know, I've known Sid for what have we known each other, about a year now. I think he's a pretty good guy, and I know a little bit about him, so I'm loving this. But is there a experience? It doesn't matter what kind of experience that kind of changed your not just from a religious standpoint, but is there an experience where you that maybe caused you to be where you are today from the religion, not the experience you just described, but a different event that kind of helped back up the evidence that this is the path you wanted to be on and you were more comfortable with?
I'm a very complicated person when it comes to like this. My belief system is kind of a lot different than everybody else's too when it comes to witchcraft and paganism. When I guess the defining moment for me that I stepped away from all the that side of it was when I lost my son and my dad. It kind of opened my eyes to questioning other things, and I don't know. It's you get to that age, I guess. You kind of wonder what is out there, but I don't know. No, I don't think I've ever had like one certain experience that defined me. I knew that when I was younger, I knew I didn't like who I was. I knew I didn't like that person, and once I in and out of jail, being a thief, being that guy that nobody wanted to be around, the drug addict, all those bad things about myself that I hated so much, I came to a point, I believe, maybe it was the passing of my best friend that I told myself back in my head that I need to change. And then a few years later, I ended up leaving my first wife and got myself sober, met my new wife, and then the journey of sobriety began. And that was when I really started to discover who I was. I lived under that mask of drugs for so many years that I didn't know who the fuck I was. So getting sober again, that was a scary little journey for me to find out maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing. The podcasting was like the first thing I tried, and I liked it, and I just kind of been riding the wave since then, I reckon.
He said, I do have a question. What's the best advice that anyone's ever given you?
I've been never given any good advice.
How about don't give up before the miracle happens?
I've never gotten any good advice. A lot of people just wanted me gone. To be honest, I wasn't a good person. Most people, especially my family, probably preferred that I was dead, that I would have overdosed and not come back. That was probably their preference. So getting good advice from family members or friends that, I didn't get any. I had to give myself my own advice. I had to figure out how it's a hard thing when you got to you got to reteach yourself good habits when all you've known is bad habits your whole entire life. But I never have gotten any advice from anybody. No one's ever said to me, hey, was never a kid that got any props from my family, like you're doing a great job or supportive or anything. I didn't get none of that. Uh,
Do you feel like that's what led you to, like, use or drink or whatever it was that you did, just to like help deal with the feelings or numb
I
it,
think
or
that I didn't start getting into drugs until I was in my high 30s or so. That's when I really started doing. I mean, I smoked pot my whole entire life, but as far
not
as
a
when I
drug?
started doing the hard drugs, it wasn't until I was in my 30s and I started getting hooked on the pain meds, and it was I guess you can say a, a deadly love story after that. But yeah, I was sober. I had a very self-destructive mindset. I I yearned for love, no matter which
Yeah.
way that I could find it. I never got it through family or friends, and or I never, especially my family. I never got any kind of acceptance from them. So I would act out in ways that wasn't healthy. That wasn't right. I was making decisions that I was all pure, just spontaneous. I was wild. I just didn't care because nobody else around me cared.
All right.
Hey, Sid, I got a question for you. What
Yeah.
is your greatest fear? What is your greatest fear?
Right now, it's dying and my kids not knowing how much I love them or how much I love my wife. I
You
don't
want
want to pass away all of a sudden out of nowhere, and then it leaves the question whether or not after I passed away how much I really loved my kids or my wife.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
I
want
think
some
they
advice,
probably.
brother?
I'm sorry, what, Chris?
When I was in basic training in AIT, when I went into basic training, it's the first time I've really been away from my mom and dad, family. And I was scared. And the sergeant just looked at me and goes, "There's only one thing I want from you. That is to be second to none from this point on in your life." Said, "Be second to none, man." I try to teach my kids there's nothing greater than God, Goddess, and family. Those are the only things that matter in life. And once you become second to none to that, you don't have to fear nothing.
And I think it's just I think it's every man. I'm just speaking for the man side. We had to go through these phases in our lives, and I hit that 50 phase where okay, I'm in my fourth quarter of the game now. What? I don't want anything to happen to me, and then everybody that's around me. Like with me and my dad, we had a very toxic relationship between each other, and I still to this day have the regret that I still didn't have. I was too bullheaded to talk to him, so I regret that when he passed away. I don't know. I guess I second guess, and I'm sure he probably second guess. This is tough. I'm sure that he loves me, but we didn't have that opportunity to have those conversations because we were both bullheaded. And I don't want the me to pass. And that's what I mean by the fear. I'm not scared to die. I'm not scared to pass on. I just want to make sure that the people around me know unconditionally that this person loves them.
Oh,
Your father is asking for your forgiveness hugely around you constantly. Hugely.
I, there's times that I feel that I out of the two losses, that one of the ones that hit me the worst. I know that's kind of weird to say, but he was the one that hit me the worst, and then Cody was right after him. My son was right after him, so I never really processed losing my dad, and then boom, my son passed away, and I was like, oh man, here's two situations in my life where we wasn't talking. It was bad terms. My son was on drugs. I turned him away from my home. So I had to live with that guilt for a while as I was trying to do shows and meet people and try to put on this face. And inside I was just dying.
He's very proud of you. He's very proud of you. He's around you, and you're like the last tin soldier that he needs forgiveness from. and he knows that you struggled immensely with the relationship the two of you had together. But it's ironic that, you know, we do these podcasts, and it's really interesting that he's still around you in the podcast. I mean, I see him clear as day around you. It's really wild. But yeah, he really,
Me and my father, until the last 5 years of his life, were really close. There wasn't nothing that me and him wouldn't share or do together or talk about. Or he was like, even though we had our fights, he was like my best friend. There was nothing that I couldn't share with my dad. So I can see that a little bit, that he would be here checking me out, because he would never have thought in a million years that I'll be sitting here doing the things that I'm doing, trying to do on social media or through. He would never have thought in a million years that I'll be doing radio. He would never have thought in a million years I'll be doing DJing. These were things that wasn't even in my mind, let alone his. And I always struggle with, with him, is the acceptance. When at what point am I going to be good enough?
you are good enough, and he sees that and knows that. Here's a question for you. Why do you feel that you're being shunned, or why are you shunned? I don't understand. You're such a great individual and such a caring
I'm a great individual now. I wasn't always this great individual before. There's things that I've done in my past that, I'm not proud of, but I did.
But Sid, you gotta remember, that's the past.
I get that. And that past is what defines who I am today, and I can appreciate that. And that's what a lot of the reason why I do the things that I do, because I have found that peace. I can look back now and tell these stories of the things that I've done with my kids or my wife or friends, and not feel guilty about it. It's like it's part of my story, a part of who Sid was. I wasn't a nice guy. It took work. It took work for me to get to be who I am today. It wasn't easy.
But are you still being shunned currently and right now?
I'm always, yeah, I'm shunned.
Why?
Shunned.
I mean, I don't understand. I mean, we all have our journeys. We all have our scars. We all have things that we've done that we're ashamed
My
of.
family don't see it like that. They tend to remember the past and hold on to it. And even though they've made their family, or they've made mistakes in their lives, they're not at that level to say that they want to be accountable for what they've done. My family's the type of family that's, minus my Uncle Jesse. He'll tell you exactly what he did, how he did it, and who he did it with. Everybody else, everybody else they're not accountable for anything, and I get it. Partially, I get it. Like with my cousins, they've held secrets of their dad and their mom for years, and to protect that family's name. And then here I am, the guy who is coming out and talking about what they did and this and that, and they don't like that. They didn't like it. They don't like it. They don't like the truth.
You can choose your friends. You can't choose your family.
Yeah.
Your friends are your family. We're your family.
We are your family, Sid, and we're doing the Care Bear stare. We love you.
That's right.
Hey, Sid, do you want to know a
do
secret
that as
about
well
me?
as you guys. Yeah, that's better, Jen. Yeah.
What's up,
Hey,
Thunder?
Sid, just to let you know, for years and years and years, I have separated myself from my cousins, my uncles, my aunts.
That's what I've done too.
I don't talk
And,
to you and my family.
my parents
I don't
have
talk to
known,
any of them.
but the reason why I separated myself, I couldn't accept the way that my mother treated me and the BS that she would tell them. It kind of just made me feel like I'm not worthy of anything.
That's how my family made me feel, and my family was nothing but just full of liars.
Yeah.
Everybody in my family, including my sister, my mom, who's still alive, they're the biggest liars. And that shit was acceptable when I was younger. You know what I mean? you when you're younger, you look past all the flaws of your family because,
Yeah.
especially for me, it was I wanted to be loved by my family. So you learn to accept you shouldn't have to accept. You learn to accept, and that's
Yeah.
how it was with mine.
Right.
Yeah. I'm
Just
sorry.
lies and lies. I couldn't handle it. I had to break free from them.
Yeah. Well, you know,
we
the
got
past,
rooted.
you know, the past doesn't define you. Okay. The past is always in the past. The only way that the past will define you if you don't learn from those mistakes and keep doing it over and over
I
again.
I feel that your past does define you, and those things that you have been through are who is what. If without those important lessons, you wouldn't be able to be who you are today.
Well, that's
I
what
On
she's
a
accept.
saying.
lessons point, yeah, on a lessons point,
That's
they
what
do
she's
teach you,
trying to
but
say.
if you don't learn anything from them, and I can't really make an example because it's live radio, but if you do
Oh,
things,
we're not live anymore. We're not. We're not on. We're not on
if you
anymore.
do things in the
We're
past
not.
No, we're not.
over and over again, and you
Seriously.
know,
Seriously,
you
we're
don't
not.
learn from those
We're not live
mistakes, you
anymore.
keep doing it, then you know you're still the same piece of shit you was in the begin with in
It
your past.
says I'm live.
So
That's what I
That's
see.
not
you don't learn
on
nothing from
mine.
them.
Nobody's
Yeah, we're live.
on, but it says they're live still.
I think we're live.
On,
Yeah.
Are we
I'm
live?
still
I don't
going.
see that you're live.
Hello, hello
Yeah.
out there.
I'm
It's still thinking. Yeah. I
Bueller?
think-
Hello.
Bueller.
Maybe
Bueller.
let
Can you
me-
hear me now?
But it could be my phone's been crazy. So
Let me look on my phone. I'm looking on my PC and it doesn't. It says I'm live.
Yeah, I think
It
we're
says
still
doesn't
we're
on.
The
live.
talk's
I see it.
clicking. The talk's
Oh.
clicking.
I see it.
I don't know.
Live.
I agree. I think your past defines you, but I feel like you've learned
Yeah.
from the past and you have the scars to prove that you've learned it. And so that you will not ever repeat those same mistakes ever again.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're me and you just constantly repeat the same fucking things over and over and over again.
For
And that means that you
For
didn't
me.
learn the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a soul contract. You didn't learn the lesson, you know. But I
Right.
feel like
Yeah.
in most cases we all learn our lessons and there's a scar and we're reminded of it. And
Mhm.
therefore it helps us remember to stay true to ourselves and to stay true to who we are and what we need to accomplish and who we need to be and how we should be empathetic and compassionate and sympathetic to human nature.
Right.
With all of those things that don't rinse and repeat.
Right.
You know
If
what
you're
I'm saying?
on, if you're on rinse and repeat, then you're not getting nowhere in life. You just keep
Right.
on and
Just-
forth.
It's
back
like
and
for
forth.
me, when I go to a gas
So-
station and they're working on cars and they're using either, it takes me back to the 70s, you know, in the early 80s when party time was party time, you know. So I kind of,
Mhm.
you know, I have to abstain. I have to tell
Yeah.
myself, no, I ain't going to go back, drive an hour and a half, just go party with some friends. You know,
Right.
it's those things where you
Mhm.
just discipline and staying true to your word.
Mhm.
You know, my husband brought up something really interesting because I just had a friend call me today that she was kind of freaked out. We were in downtown in Park Rapids shopping, and she was asking me a question about breast cancer and asked me, you know, like, did you do directly this or that? And I said, hey, give me 2 minutes. I'm just going to check out with this particular vendor and I'll call you. And I called her and she was freaked out. She had an abnormal mammogram, you know, and I was walking her through the process of the abnormality of what the insurance is going to do, what the insurance is not going to do, and everything like that. And, you know, I hung up the phone after having that conversation, and Tim looked at me and I'm crying now. He's like, well, that was the reason why you went through that, so that you can help somebody else. Your scars that you have is going to help another person get through this process.
And that's what I've learned in the last 5 years that I've been doing this. I've been sharing. I've always shared bits and pieces of my life online, And so I've noticed that I've gotten a message just not too long ago on one of my posts where I didn't know it, where this lady's son was on there, and he sees how I expose my truths, help him get
Yeah.
through his struggles of his addiction or his depression, and so I see these things all the time, and I think that's a lot of the reason why, like, I keep doing what I'm doing. Oh, the story for me changes a bit. You know what I mean? Like my personal belief with my religion and my spirituality, I'm just not there like I used to be anymore. I'm looking life a bit more simpler now than what I used to 2 3 years ago when I was neck deep into witchcraft and I was practicing everything I could practice. And now I've backed away and I've seen all the different kinds and what I've practiced. I'm like, okay, this is not supposed to be this confusing. So I'm just going to strip everything that I believe down to I'm living for the moment. The magic I create is the magic that I create through my stories, my illustrations, that me talking about my life in general is my magic.
Being
I don't, yeah, being present and being honest.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the way it is for
Exactly.
me, Sid.
Mhm.
You know, I could sit there and go, yeah, I got lineage, I got this and that. But the bottom line is, I see God and Goddess so much different than what a lot of what I would say my peers does. To me, it's mother and father. And instead of going, oh, my goddess is Diana, Hecate, Aphrodite, Demeter,
Lilith. Yeah.
I'm a lot like you. I simplified. I believe in Mother Nature, and I love the chaos that Mother Nature brings, the unpredictability.
I am
Yeah,
I, the name,
Yeah.
that's what's important to me. I strip away tradition. I follow my spirit, I follow my heart, and everything that I speak about, like what we did off show last week, I think it was last week, that was my truth, of how emotionally the goddess has impacted my life. My mother and father, they gave me a great, what would you say, Catholic / Baptist upbringing. So I'd go to church Sunday night, then I'd end up going to church Sunday morning with my mom, you know. But I owe them that gratitude. But I still was wild. I was wild as fire when I was younger. I believed in going
yeah. I was
miles
crazy
an hour in
wild.
a car and how much cocaine can I stick up my nose? You know, crazy stuff. How much alcohol can I consume? How many gallons of beer can I brew?
Yeah, that was my thing too. Was drinking too when I was younger.
I led a pretty wild life. I can see why my parents kind of got disturbed at me. You know, wake up in the morning and I'm laying on the porch. What are you doing out here? How come where am I? That's the way I was when I was younger.
If they could see us now, they'd be like, "What the hell happened?"
Right.
Good
Yeah,
old
I know.
days.
I know my dad
well,
was like, "This ain't the same
they
shit
don't.
I know."
Our family spirit never goes away from us. They're always watching out for us, and a lot of us don't realize that. You're more likely going to become similar to your father, but not. You, you know, I always try to teach myself forgiveness. I forgive my friends.
It's so crazy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Really popped in my
I
head.
have similarities.
Speaking of similarities and seeing things, I'll sit in my room with my son Noah, and certain ways that he'll lay on the recliner and watch TV, and his he wears glasses, reminds me of my dad. It's so damn scary. It's like I'm sitting there going, this is Wayne Jr. right here. I mean, just the remote control on his belly, and just sitting there watching TV and feet crossed on the. I was like, man, that's my dad right there, reincarnated.
Could be.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Is that all the good juicy questions you guys had? There's nothing
Um,
you want to know about me? outside
Hold
of
on.
Beth,
I piggyback
chair
on Chrissy.
falling.
what's that?
I said I
My chair.
piggybacked on Chrissy.
You said you had 6 questions, didn't you, Chrissy?
Well, I did, but everybody
But
kind of got.
guys were
Everybody
all
done
answering
answered?
It's like the thing about our little group here is like, I think we share in the same brain cell or something, because I think every one of you guys are getting into my mind and you know what I'm going to ask. So you ask it, and then I'm like, oh shoot, cross that one, cross
Now
that
you're
one
doing
out,
something else.
cross that one out. So it's like it's like Beth and I was probably in the same brain cell on
Yeah.
for Colleen or for Meeting Red, and
Yeah.
so it's like. Yeah, you guys are on the same brain cell as mine, so
Yep.
I think
it's
that's
just
why
a good vibration.
We all
that
share
way.
one brain cell.
I think
Right.
so.
So everybody's high.
Yeah.
I got a question. I got a question for you.
I'm not.
All right, Tobias, hit me with it, bud.
I just thought about it on the fly, but I think it's a good one. So in high school, how would have labeled yourself? Were you like an outsider, a jock, a dweeb, did you have a label in high school?
I had a label on me. I was a hood. We
A
called them a
hood.
hood. That's what
Hood
we
rat.
had the hoods, or we had we had the blue jean jacket, leather. In my case, it was a leather jacket and had all the band patches back in the day. Had Kiss
You
and
got spikes on it.
That's right.
well, I didn't have spikes, but it was just I had long hair then. Yeah, I was definitely the troublemaker in high school. I've been spending more times than I was probably present, just through my troublemaking. But it was cool
Well,
back then because you was able to, like, when I was in high school, I was able to smoke cigarettes. They had a smoking
We were
lounge
big.
during lunchtime. You can go outside smoking cigarettes. So
That's-
me and the boys would have a fucking bottle of Mad Dog 2020 during school
Yeah.
and a
Moon
joint
Dog.
outside, and we would get high, drunk, go back to school for the rest of half of the day, and go to the pool hall to go buy my cigarettes out of the pool. The machines you pull the handle on it and the
Yeah.
pack drops out. Yeah, that's where I. But I was a rotten kid. But they gave paddlings back at then too, so I got lucky a lot of the time too. And whenever I did get in trouble, I took the paddling from the dean. Grab your ankles, boy. You're about to get whacked.
Oh,
Yeah, whoop.
Me and Scott's been in the same dean's office my buddy who lives with me. We've been friends for about 35 years. We've been in the same dean's office getting paddling at the same fucking time for something we was goofing around in cafeteria when we ended up getting pulled in there and getting whacked. And Scott cried the whole fucking time. And I'm like, man, you ain't used to this by now?
yeah. Did you
Come
go
on,
to a
dude.
Catholic school?
No, it was a public school.
I can't believe that because I thought that was only available. I thought they only did available. It's only available in Catholic
It's only
schools.
available in Catholic paddlings is.
Yeah,
Be sure
I
to
was
sign
like,
up to your local Catholic school for a good
your
old
local
paddling.
Catholic school. I mean, I can't tell you how many times my knuckles got wrapped by those stupid little pointers. God forbid I forgot one day and chewed gum, and they stuck me in the trash can with the gum on my nose, and I had to stand there for like 30 minutes. I had forgotten that I had gum in my mouth. My mom gave me gum in the morning, and usually I spit it out, and I totally forgot all about it. And I was sitting there chewing away in class, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So I got nailed. They stuck me in the trash can, like those big industrial trash cans with the gum sticking on my nose. And it was like, oh, crap.
I hated it in school because it was back to Tobias' question. I hated it at school because it was trying to end segregation in schools, and they was transitioning and trying to make the schools more equal, black and white. But when I was going to school, there was still a lot of black students then that was really still carrying a grudge from years past. And me being one of the few only white dudes in the school, it sucked. It sucked. I felt bad for them. Don't get me wrong, but it sucked for me. I wasn't a big guy, and hearing with leather. I grew up with bikers, so every bit of clothing was leather jackets. I had the rings, just me being me. And then I go to school, and it was just a nightmare. I'd make sure I get kicked off the bus. I hated school, but I was an essential hood rat, I guess you could say. I was the guy. I was the guy in the garage playing music, playing with a band in the neighborhood, with a bottle of vodka and a jug of punch on the other side, just being a normal, crazy young man in the 80s. Damn,
Sounds
was
like
I
a lot of
crazy.
fun to me.
I was just gonna say we all did stupid shit when we were kids. I did
Yeah.
stupid shit. My parents
Mine
are
just
probably
carried
rolling
on a
around
bit
in their grave
afterwards.
right now.
All
I
right.
got involved in a lot of criminal rings that I shouldn't have gotten involved in. I was one part of being in the bike club. I had to do things that whatever the bike club tells you to do, I had to go do. Whether it was handle someone, like, let's say somebody beat up on their old lady, I was one of the guys that had to go with a group of guys to take care of the guy that was beating up on the wife. So I got to experience a lot of stuff, and it took a lot really to break me of all those bad habits. The mentality's still there. I just learned how to shove it back.
Right.
Have you ever written it all down?
No,
You
I think it would
should.
you should. I think it would be a great book.
Yeah.
it'd take me forever to write a fucking book about everything I
Oh, it does take you forever.
go around writing. I was
I'm
bad. I
writing
mean,
one right
I
now.
was
If you wanna know what
really,
I'm talking about.
I was really, really bad. And it wasn't until I got sober and I started doing this where I started realizing I have some worth, because I thought I was worthless. So I just didn't really care about my life, and I just did everything I possibly do, just bad, from dealing drugs to getting raided by SWAT teams to, I mean, I've been a part of it, been a part of it all. I just didn't care
Yeah.
back then.
Right.
But I love me now, though. I love me some me now.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
better, I
Well,
better
that's the
stop.
important part, is to accept ourselves and all of our imperfections, kind of like what
All
Chris,
those imperfections that I had in my past, I
like
guess,
Chris was saying.
to close it out, I guess everything that's happened in my past has defined what I've created today. I want people around me that I can feel that I can trust. And it may not be blood, but you guys, I trust. You guys are family. I trust you guys. I try to build things that I give, even though I may not follow Chris and Chrissy's path, or I may not be an oracle or a tarot card reader. I might not do what Jen does or what Tobias does or what Medium Red does. I may not do none of that shit, but that's the beauty of, for me, why I created these things, to give everybody an open platform to be who they are. Whether I believe in it or not, that's not for me to judge. For me to judge is who the people are that are doing the things that they're doing, the person behind it. And that's what I value the most in life. And that's why I created these spaces for people to come, grow, and be part of whatever it is that we are doing.
You want to
Like
know
Wizard Rock Radio.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're my highlight of the week. This is where I come to have fun.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
You
Well,
got
I don't want everybody to think that this is what I do. This is all who it is the guy who puts a smile on your face. There's demons inside this guy that I have to fight every single day. Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all go through that.
Yeah.
I do.
Mhm.
You know,
When I
it-
get moments of silence, it's my worst enemy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, silence is
have-
my worst enemy too. I love it, want it. When I get it, I don't like to sit and listen to it.
Right.
Right.
I don't like listening to my voice in my head. That's my biggest thing, because I do spend a lot of time by myself.
I
But I
do too. No,
But-
well,
Then the voice starts going off my head, and I start thinking about things, and it's like, holy shit, I'm losing my marbles here.
Until I come in and get into your head.
I think about that a lot.
She
I have
comes
to
in.
break it by going over with the kids or something and doing something with the kids just so I can get out of my own head. I have
Yeah.
bad anxiety, bad social anxiety.
Yeah.
Stepping outside and doing like that event I did not too long ago, that was huge for me. I have such bad social meeting people is not. I mean, I'm good at meeting people, but the older I've gotten, I've become more secluded to myself, and so it's become harder, and anxiety just through the roof. Like I got to do a pagan pride next week. Next week I got to do a pagan pride, and I'm the host of it.
Oh
But
yeah, good.
Oh, that's
I don't
It's
know how I
great.
get put in these
self-preservation.
positions, but I guess it's meant to be, so I'm just
You
going
say
with the
yes.
flow.
I'm the butterfly. You're the bat. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm a
There
social.
you go, brother.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Sometimes
like Tim. I'm the butterfly and he's a total introvert. He was trying to explain to me today that he's like, there's a new term where it's I can't even remember. He found a new term. He's like, that's me. I'm not really an introvert. I'm not really an extrovert. He's like, I saved this so I can talk to you about this. And I'm like, I've never heard of that before. But
Yeah.
orgavert or something like that. I don't know. I have to ask him what it was, but it's like anyway, yeah, he was like telling me this morning. I'm sitting there typing. I'm like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
But I'm
I just
extroverted and I need to have my time to regroup and like be by myself.
all the things that go on in my life, I kind of keep it to myself, and if I don't take that time out and sort through it, it becomes very chaotic. I'm not a person to if I'm going through stuff, I don't talk about it. I I've learned that there when I got sober, I realized that there wasn't no God, there wasn't no goddess, there wasn't no Christian God that got me sober. It was me that got me sober. It was the steps that I took to get my no divine entity or deity stepped in and said, "All right, Sid, you're recovered, and thank you to no." I had to put in the work. So I guess part of my mentality when it comes to the guide and guidelines, not that I disagree with it. I just don't follow those. Everything I've accomplished, I accomplished through my own gut and grit and working through it.
It's
Yeah.
what you manifested. And
Yeah.
you want to know the
Yes.
secret? God and goddess are not psychologists. They aren't. It's
No,
like if you want a job, they ain't going to hand it to you in a silver platter. You have to go out and look for it.
Yeah.
You know, but they're not wired that way. You know, we have to strive to be our best. You know, it's like I always tell myself, don't be
and that takes a certain drive to want to be your best.
yeah,
Because
it does.
we can become very used to talking shit to ourselves, and so flipping that script around and telling yourself you can do these things, that takes some fucking grit. That takes
Yeah.
some serious devotion to what you're getting ready, what you're wanting to do, a drive that not everybody has.
Yeah, you know, it's like I tell myself and my kids, but actually most everybody, it's okay to fail. It's okay to have somebody tell you no. It's okay to stumble and fall. But what do you do at that moment that defines you? Either you take the high road or you just completely quit. I choose the high road because I believe this. Would I be who I am today if I sit there and go, fuck it, nobody's going to give me a chance? Would I be who I am? You know, it's like Scott Cap when I first got initiated into the craft. I was a train wreck, man. And I'm happy that she sat there and she always took the higher ground with me, even when she saw me flipping out. You know, I'm very happy that she tolerated me. And I'm really surprised she did because I was pretty well mentally, I was gone, you know, but I kept on trying. And I tried and I tried.
Well, it's exactly correct. It's like, you know, what defines you is not necessarily the fall. It's how you pick yourself back up.
Yeah.
And as I say, you know, put your big boy panties on or your big girl panties on and move forward, taking that information and going forward with it and knowing what to do with it. So exactly what you just said, Chris.
That was weird.
What?
I just felt for a second like a complete fucking blur haze just went over me for a second.
Not really that weird, Sid.
No.
True.
It's like I was hearing you guys, but I wasn't present. That was weird. Anyway, that don't happen to me very often. I was like in a trance or something.
Did you hear any whispers on the way?
Yeah. Good one, Chrissy.
All right, I guess you guys got to ask your questions. You guys never get
Go
another
around
chance
this
again.
Oh,
Never again. This is it. I'm just kidding. We can do another one sometime later, about 5 years from now.
Better.
okay.
I think we should do Chris and Chrissy next week.
I think we should.
Okay.
I think that's a great idea.
Load up
I
your
know
bullet.
Chrissy's looking at me like, what the hell, sis?
We can probe their brains like aliens.
Yeah.
We're not too exciting.
I'll massage your noggin for you, Thunder.
You'll have to do something there, bud.
Not that noggin, you filthy bastard.
Oh.
Your head.
Whoa, 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 whoa! What's happening right now? I think I blazed out too. What?
Oh, whatever, Beth. You're the one that talked about tickling taints about a month ago, 2 months ago.
At least she's not big spooning.
Who's going to do all the
I
talking?
mean, for real. Anyway, all right, we're
Yeah.
out here, guys. We'll see you next week. Tune in same time. We'll have Chris and Chrissy on. Chris and Thunder. I'm sorry, but I can't keep Thunder all the time. I'm so bad.
Thunder! To the
Thunder,
thunder!
thunder.
Lightning
All right.
and the thunder!
I'm gonna leave with one last.
Thunder
I don't even know if I should leave with a song tonight. I mean, why not? Why bother? They're gonna probably delete me. Delete me.
No
What is
way.
the tonight's show? All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll catch you guys next
night.
week.
See ya.
Good night. Love you all.